Do you actually want to scale your business, or do you just say that because it's what founders are supposed to want? Because scaling doesn't simply mean growing. Scaling means stepping out of the operational center of your business. You are no longer the expert or solving client problems. You become the person who enables others to solve those problems. And the real question is, do you want that? I recently talked about this on my podcast Founder Independence with Tyler Jeffcoat. Tyler has built and sold 2 companies, including an accounting and CFO advisory firm called Seller Accountant. What's interesting about Tyler's story is that he was running 2 business models inside one company. He just didn't see it that way at first. One side was the accounting work, standardizable, process-driven, scalable, clear success criteria. Good people could be trained and could deliver results. That part worked. The other side was the CFO advisory work, deep strategic work with clients. That was Tyler's real expertise. And that's where the problem was. Clients wanted Tyler, his experience, his judgment, his way of thinking through problems. As the firm grew and he tried to replace himself in that role, it failed every time. The business model was built on his personality, and that's fundamentally hard to scale. Tyler's conclusion was, sell the scalable part and focus on what you're genially good at and what you actually enjoy. And here's why this matters and where my 5-level framework comes in. In my 5-level model of founder leadership, level 1 is self-leadership. And that's exactly where this question belongs. Most founders skip level 1 entirely and jump straight to level 2, the business model. They ask, how do I structure the company to scale? What systems do I need? What processes? But that's the wrong sequence. Before you can meaningfully answer, how do I scale? You need to answer a different question first. Do I actually want this? And what does it mean for me and my role? You stop being the expert with the answers. You start being the person who develops others to find the answers. In practice, it's hard for many founders because it means giving up the role that made you successful in the first place. If that's not what you want, you need to name that clearly. The way I see it, there are 3 valid paths. And none of them is inherently the right one. Path 1, the systematic scaling. You decide to build a company that runs without you. You build structures, you develop leadership layers, and gradually step back from day-to-day operations. This requires permanently giving up the expert role. Instead, you become a business owner in the traditional sense, someone who leads people who do the actual work. If you can't, or if you don't want to take on that owner-operator role, you need someone who will, a managing director or integrator who handles operational leadership. You need to have someone in that role. Otherwise, you'll have a scaled business with nobody actually running it. So you don't want that. That will not be successful in the long term. Then there's path 2, Tyler's path. Tyler recognized that he had 2 separate business models under one roof. He sold the scalable part and deliberately focused on what he's very good in and what he wants to do. Today, he works as a fractional CFO for around 10 mid-sized companies. He sits on advisory boards. He does deep work with a small number of clients. It's not scalable, but it's a stable, profitable business that fits who he is and what he wants to do, at least right now. That decision takes courage because it means actively choosing not to pursue certain growth opportunities. And then there's path 3, gradual organic growth. Many founders start in a heavily person-dependent model, as consultants or service providers with direct client relationships. And they grow slowly. They develop one person who gradually takes on more responsibility and eventually handles clients independently. It's less spectacular than the other 2 paths, but in many cases, it's the most stable one because it happens organically, because quality is preserved, and because the founder's identity doesn't need to be completely redefined all at once. I hear this often. I want to grow, but I don't want to change. Sorry, but that doesn't work. I know this from personal experience. When I sold my company and took over as managing director of a global service unit inside a corporate group, my role was fundamentally different from everything I'd done before. I was no longer the engineer with the answers. I was the person enabling others to find them. That wasn't easy. It was a difficult process, not a switch you flip. Whatever path you choose, here's something worth keeping in mind. Be careful what you wish for. It might come true. A scaled business means less direct client contact, more leadership work, more distance from daily operations, more dependency on other people. Not everyone actually wants that, and that is completely okay. Success means building a business that fits you, your strength, your personality, and the life you want to live as a founder. If you want to know how dependent your business currently is on your personality, I've built something for exactly that. It's called the Founder Independence Check. 5 minutes and you'll see in black and white where your business stands across 5 key areas. At the end, you get an individual result with a concrete assessment of where you stand today and what your logical next step is. It's free, takes less than 5 minutes, and you can find it at berndgerob.com/check. The link is also in the description. Good luck.